Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. What the fuck is going on? How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're staying blessed. I hope you're staying away from the negative bullshit. I hope you're just living your life to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? Using your passions, using your talents, using whatever God gave you to make it through this crazy system we placed under. You know what I mean? This crazy crap that we're placed under. What can I say? We're here, we let it happen. We gotta manifest our own destinies, no matter what they try to take from us, no matter what lineage they try to rob from, what they try to steal, because, you gotta understand, we're under demonic dominion, you know what I mean? It's, a lot of our religious places are ran by people that's heinous, got devilish thoughts and deeds in their mind, secret, because they'll never reveal their true intentions. This is how they get away with so much. And we allow them to, because if you can't see a person's true intentions, or you can't feel a person's true intentions, how are you really supposed to know what their true intentions are, if they're being genuine with you or not? And that's part of the craft. You know what I mean? You got people that'll lie in your face, manipulate you with love and feelings and this and that. And me, I'm an empath. I can feel when somebody has malice in their heart towards me. They could tell me, damn, I just farted, excuse me. But I could tell, I'm the type of person, I could tell when a person has malice in their heart towards me and things like that. And I'm not a big confrontational type of person. You know what I mean? I've never been that type. I match your energy though. I match the energy that you give me, because it's only right. You know what I mean? If it's not the right time or place, I'm not even going to entertain your bullshit. You know what I mean? It's fucked up that I gotta say this, but I do gotta say this because it's on my mind. I went over to my father-in-law's house to see my children, right? To pick them up, take them shopping. Yesterday, had a great day. You know what I mean? Despite all the bullshit. And he walked in the living room as I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm doing something on my phone, on my device, and he's just staring at me. And he has a habit of doing this. And he'll just stare at you for some reason, like he wants you to acknowledge him. Mind you, not once have I ever, went to anybody's house and not acknowledged them. You know what I mean? I'm a very manable person. I'm a very respectable person. You know what I mean? I like my respect, just like everybody else. So when I walk in your house, of course I'm going to speak to you if I see you, but if you're not around and I can't say nothing and I'm doing something and my head is in my phone, you can't stand there and stare at me and give me an uncomfortable feeling like that. The feeling that I had, me once again being an empath and having, it was like a very angry, like hateful feeling, like, you know what I mean? Like tension started to build up as soon as he entered the atmosphere. And I felt it. That's what made me actually look, to the right, because I was in my phone. So I'm like, I look to the right and I say, what, like, how you doing? That was the first thing I said. I say, hey, how you doing? Because, you know what I mean? It's the first time I seen him since I came to the house. And he just stares me down. And he say, how you doing? And he continues to stare me down and walk past. So I shook my head a little bit. He said, what was that? He made a slick remark. First of all, shaking your head is not a remark, right? It's not a comment. That's what he said. He said a comment. Shaking your head is a gesture. And my gesture, which I didn't feel like explaining myself, because he asked me why was I shaking my head? Because it's my head, first of all. Second of all, this, it's my head, and not to mention, you just came down here and stared me down for a good 30, 40 seconds to a minute and continue to do the same thing. So, I explained to him that, and he was a bit combative or whatever. He wanted to see, what I'm not explaining on here, what I haven't explained yet, is I know he's a Mason. And I know that the Masons is fucking with me, right? The craft is fucking with me for whatever reason, for whatever hobbies I had, for whatever family shit that was happening that I didn't know about. He's a part of that, and I know that. He knows my grandfather. He knows a lot of this history. You see what I mean? See, what the older Masons do, they'll pull younger Masons in, so this way they become your master. And now people that you have dealings with, or people that's in your life or whatever, when they get pulled in, they got to keep that secret. So now they get instructions on how to deal with you in your everyday life. You know, they might say, hey, give them a hard time on this deal. You know what I mean? It might be somebody you're dealing with, you don't know they got ties to a Masonic organization. And they'll give you a hard time on something. And they'll really try to fuck your life up. They'll do it through the system. They'll do it through people in your family, people who's directly involved with your children, women. Because you'll notice. You'll notice a switch that just changing a person. And I always wondered, like, what the fuck is that switch? Like, if I don't ever do anything to hurt anybody or anything to wrong anybody, and I'm not out here trying to hurt, what does that mean? Why is everybody against me all of a sudden? Like, the death of my grandmother marked the beginning of them fucking with me, or, you know, before that, but that marked them really fucking with me. Like, they've been fucking with me for a long time, but I never knew. And once my grandmother passed, it ramped up, because I believe my grandmother was protecting me somehow. You know what I mean? It's the spiritual works that we're under. It's the spiritual and it's the psychological works that we're under. And it manifests physically. You know what I mean? I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? And the fucked up thing is, I always say on my podcast, I appreciate these people because they're there for my children and they're my children's grandparents. But at the same time, it's like, why give me such, like, hate? Like, why do that? When you know I'm going through so much in my life. Why give me so much hate when you know what I've been through with your daughter? You know what I mean? In my own family life. That you never once tried to give me help or advice or counseling, anything like that. And you got a 40+ year long marriage. If anybody was giving that advice, it should have been you. As the father of a newly wedded wife. As the father-in-law to a newly wedded husband. You should have been given that advice. You should have been given advice. And, you know, I just had that on my mind. It's heartfelt. It's a bit emotional because I never thought that I would have to go through this with in-laws or, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, I'm still moving. I'm still doing what I gotta do. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep progressing. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. Because when you got a calling or when you got a passion to do something, you got so many people out here in this world that just don't want to see you make it. They just don't want to see you reach that place. That'll try to have you do other things than you were meant to do with your life. And it's your fucking life. And people who still try to control you. They'll try to get you locked up. They'll try to manipulate your emotions. They'll try to manipulate your children against you. They'll try to manipulate the system against you. Get you in all types of bullshit. And that's what we all dealing with. That's why we all got to stop the hate. We got to stop the hate. There's too much hate going on out here. When we all just on our own journeys, our own paths, pursuing our own passions. Why hate? Why hate on another person for pursuing the things that they want to pursue in life? Ain't that what this country is built upon? I remember the movie Pursuit of Happiness that Will Smith did. Isn't this the city of brotherly love? Isn't this Philadelphia? Aren't we supposed to be pursuing our happiness, not chasing somebody else's corporation or career to continue to finance their thing? Why can't I build something for my family legacy? Why when I have the thought or the inclination to start create music, books, and podcasts and all of these things. And do I got to get so much resistance because I'm not a part of your organization? Because I'm not a part of your, you know what I mean? Your clique, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It is what it is. I don't mind not being a part. I don't mind not being one of your foot soldiers. You know what I mean? As long as I'm being honest to me, as long as I'm being here for my children, as long as I'm being an upstanding human being, you know what I mean? I'm out here doing charity. I'm out here doing, you know, doing what I love, my passions and pursuits. I'm done being tied up with anybody else's fictitious bullshit. You know, the vanity, the vain bullshit, the fantasy bullshit. I get what I need and I do what I have to do so I can continue to get closer and closer to my goal and my dream and my, end results in life. Because I see the setup. There's a lot of you motherfuckers out there a part of this shit. And you know it. And you know it. And you know it. And you still continue to do the same thing. I just want to say this. You're not going to have nothing good in the next life. You're not going to have nothing good in the next life. It's going to be a bug's life for you motherfuckers. Everybody out here doing heinous shit, setting people up, a part of these organizations and shit. Have your fun now while your master's in control. Because once you transcend to the next level of life, it's not going to be much of a life for you because you did people wrong here. Especially the ones closest to you and the ones that really betrayed your love and stabbed you in the back. Because there's a lot of people getting done like that. There's a lot of men out here getting done like that. There's a lot of women out here getting done like that. And nobody deserves to be done like that. And it's even more fucked up when you go out and you actually expose this shit to everybody. So everybody can get a clear understanding of what's going on and who's the puppet masters, who's the slave masters out this joint, who's at the top of the pyramid in this city, and they still won't help. And they still won't help. They still won't do nothing. They'll just watch on the sidelines and watch you take a dive. Or become the underdog and rise to victory. That's all I'm trying to do. That's my mission, to rise to victory. And it's not even for myself. It's for my ancestors and the ones you fucked over before me. And it's for my children. It's for the future. It's for the past and it's for the future. And I'm working presently for that. I'm working presently to preserve a legacy that you tried to ruin with your agents and your double, secret agendas and things like this. Try to manipulate my emotions. Talk to me down in front of my children. Spread all types of rumors and rhetoric about me and everything. Put my character down. Try to have my spirits. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of us is dealing with, man. You got to get away from anybody who's putting your spirits down, who's not allowing you to be who you are meant to be, man. You got to get away from them people. You got to stay to yourself and stay focused on your mission. We all know our mission. You can't get caught up in your head. You can't get caught up in the game. I mean, for a while, you're going to be stuck up in your head because you're trying to figure things out. But you got to come out of that and pursue what you're supposed to pursue and do the things that you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So many of us deal with these hateful situations. So many of us deal with stressful situations that get us caught in our emotions and then boop, lock your ass the fuck up. That's all it's about. You know what I mean? And to be truthful, I was having a conversation with a brother the other day, and he mentioned John Smith and how they could free the slaves and still keep them enslaved. And that's what I believe is going on today. You know what I mean? They give us a false sense of freedom, follow us to wherever we're at. And to be truthful, they still have you on documentations as being a slave. But now, once you get incarcerated, now that documentation is further reinforced because now you're a slave to the system for real because now you're locked up. It's some vicious shit. It's a vicious cycle. And all of us is a part of it if you're not a part of it. Get that? All of us are a part of it if you're not a part of it. You're a slave if you're not on the slave master's team. If you're not in the secret organizations and shit like that, you're being fucked with. You might not be getting fucked with on a level where you can see it blatantly, but after a while, when you start to realize things, or once they really start to hone in on you, they have a term called gang stalking. Is what they do. And they'll use legal organized crime, they'll use gang stalking through people that you love, through your family. It's so fucking deep that they could watch you through your children. It's that deep. They can manipulate your children to watch you. It's all a manipulation tactic going on out here. You know what I mean? You just got to be smart enough and have the mental fortitude to rise above that, to really work your way out of this situation. Because you're born into the situation, and you're also born an entrepreneur. So the way you're born is like, okay, yeah, you got this social security number that basically ties you to the system or whatever, but you're also born a freeborn spirit. So yeah, you're tied to the system, but you're also tied to your creator. And after a while of you living life, the system is going to start to indoctrinate you with the kindergarten, with the school, with the things that's going on in the streets, and whatever you gravitate to is what you gravitate to. But if you listen to your conscience, your intuition, and your higher calling, then you won't be susceptible to the plights of the world. But everybody's going to be susceptible to the plights of the world because that's the purpose of the world. Who can make it through an entire lifetime without sin? Not one man can. So every man and woman is going to fall, is going to be susceptible to the plights of the world. Everybody's going to have a level of sin. Everybody's going to have this or that. Everybody has a certain energy, a certain soul that they possess, you know? So you just got to be mindful of who you are and understand that there are forces and organizations that know exactly the soul that you possess. And they'll treat you accordingly. They'll treat you as such. They'll treat you, you know, like, let's say you got a soul they love, you know. They'll make sure they treat you with love, you know. They're going to give you some adversities and shit like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah. I'm just out here chilling, enjoying my day, man. It's rainy as fuck. Yesterday, I watched Jamie Foxx. What had happened was, oh my God. When I tell you this fucking comedy special was put together so perfectly, so masterfully. You know, he had his daughters involved. He had his one daughter that plays the guitar, and she plays beautifully. They did a song together. He gave the whole story about how, you know, he had a stroke and everything. He talked about Cat Williams when he said, a mystery illness, a mystery. Oh my God, it was fucking rolling. It was hilarious. The whole time. It was masterful how he put a show together. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. That's one of the best comedy shows I've seen in a long time. Put together that way. Because it was more than just comedy. It was comedy, it had drama, it had some heartfelt things in it, it had music, it had the whole story and everything. It was a perfect set, you know what I mean? And I love the fact that Jamie Foxx came out there and he shined that way and he did his fucking thing that way. Man, like, I laughed, I cried. It had me intrigued. I danced. I jammed out. Like, you can't ask for a more well-rounded experience in a comedy special than Jamie Foxx. What had happened was. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. This is my God concept podcast opinion. You know what I mean? That's Mr. Pagan's opinion on Jamie Foxx stand-up joint. It was fire. You gotta check it out. If you didn't check it out, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you have Netflix if you haven't checked that out? That Jake Paul fight had me tight for weeks though. I ain't gonna lie. That Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight had me tight for weeks because I was under the opinion and the impression that Mike Tyson was gonna wipe the floor with Jake Paul. That's just what I thought. That's just what was supposed to happen. But it didn't. For whatever reason. You know, whatever dollar amount, whatever contracts were signed, whatever, you know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just, you know, the youth beating age. You know what I mean? Age versus bronze and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I got a squirrel over here paying attention to me. I'm going to give him some of my little Nutella bars, see what he thinks. It's behind you, buddy. It's behind you. Oh, he loving that shit. He a big fat squirrel, too. Oh, my God. He a big husky squirrel. He loving that Nutella. That's what I like to do. I like to chill, you know, in different spots, just catch nature, you know what I mean? Do my thing, have a little, you know what I mean? Meditate, think, come up with different ideas, come up with different ways to branch out. He fucking that Nutella up. Oh my God. He is fucking, he looking at me and fucking that Nutella up. He looking at me and fucking the Nutella up. God damn. This Jones picture. I'm gonna show you what they look like. Bang. See that? Go get them, have some coffee, and shut up. Just shut up. Enjoy your shit, listen to your music, and just shut the fuck up. You know? Everybody's going through something. Ain't no need to be down all the time. Or, you know, I make a lot of somber fucking videos. I'm tired of making somber fucking videos because I always got something on my mind, in my heart, that I'm thinking about, that I'm digesting mentally and spiritually. You know? Yeah, he fucking that Nutella up. It's still on his fingers. And those little squirrel claws. Don't look at me. It's another piece down there. You better find it, goddammit. I threw 2 pieces. I threw one of these, but I broke it in 2. That's how I feel right now. I wish I could put the camera. I should put the camera on the squirrel, but I ain't gonna do it. It's gonna fuck up my shot. Look, he down there looking for it. Smell it. He found it? Did he find it? No, he didn't find it. Did he find it? I gotta look away. Because you watching me watch him, and I don't want him to think I'm trying to attack him or something. I want him to enjoy his little Nutella hunt. You know what I mean? I've been putting up a lot more promotions. I'm getting a lot more book ideas. I'm getting a lot of direction for my business and where I want to take the brand. I think the squirrel is up under me. I think the squirrel done crawled up under me somehow. fucking know. But yeah, anyway, just gonna continue doing what it do, man. Despite whatever happens, the squirrel is on my ass. I'm telling you, he right across, he across the table from me. It looked like the squirrel is the fucking cameraman right now. It looked like the squirrel is the cameraman right now. He gone now. Oh my god. Today's a good day, man. Despite everything, despite all that I've been through, man, I'm appreciative for life. I'm appreciative for my children. Man, I'm just appreciative, man. Just to be right here, looking at this camera, man, enjoying this fucking squirrel. He found the Nutella. He found the Nutella. Yes. Yes. He found it. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. He found the Nutella, baby. Well, anyway. Yeah, man, I'm blessed to have this moment with this fucking squirrel in this spot right here, man. This life is crazy. Oh, man. Just a couple of squirrels, man. I'm letting these squirrels fuck up my topic. But anyway, this was just a podcast because yesterday was like, yesterday I wasn't really feeling it. I must have knew that I was going, you know what I mean? I knew I was going somewhere I had to go, doing something I had to do, you know what I mean? And doing something that I wanted to do, you know what I mean? But I didn't know that it was going to have some bullshit like that, you know what I mean? That's why normally when I just go places, I just stay in my own little space, in my own little bubble, because I don't like the energy that comes from a lot of people, you know what I mean? I don't know why. I'm not received well at a lot of times, in a lot of situations. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on the record. It's never me. It's really never me. Like, I'm never the fucking problem. There's always somebody trying to get over on me, somebody trying to be dominant, somebody trying to, trying to get, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. You're not going to get your point across if your point don't make no fucking sense. If you're not logical, if you're not reasonable, you're not going to get it across. I'd rather not even talk to you because it's like, what's the point? Especially when a person think they know so much. The older you get, you think you know so fucking much, and you really don't. You know what I mean? You have to take in new information. If you're not taking in new information and refining the things that you know, because everything is stale, everything is old, everything comes from a different place. So sometimes you gotta take your information and refine it because, some people think that they're like holier than thou or some shit. And you know what I mean? Some people just get so entitled and so enamored on just having it their way that they don't ever want to see it your fucking way. You know what I mean? Even the other day, I had to take myself back because I'm explaining to my son something about school, about the Philadelphia School of Performing Arts that I'm trying to enroll him into, both my children. And he was saying that he wanted to do a military academy, you know what I mean? And I'm saying, yeah, but once you go in there, then it's like you want a fast track to go into the military. But he was telling me that he don't want to go for the military purpose. He want to go because it's a very structured atmosphere where he could learn and not be bothered and shit like that. And you know what I mean? So what can I say? You know what I mean? I support that. You know what I mean? I gotta support what he wants. You know what I mean? Whether if it's not what I want or not, I gotta support what he wants. If he want to go to a military academy instead of an arts academy, and that's him. You know what I mean? That's what he wants. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of him. And I just want to see him grow and be successful at whatever it is that he want to do in life. You know what I mean? I'll provide guidance, but I'm not going to guide to the point where I'm guiding them towards what I want to do. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to live vicariously through my children because they're individuals. They have their own individual mind. That's where a lot of my shit got fucked up because where I had my own individual mind, I always had a parent or an adult or somebody around me telling me to do something other than the things that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? When your life is being guided by your grandfather, you know what I mean? Your mother and things like that. If I would have followed my grandmother's advice, I would have been already doing what I wanted to do in my life. But I'm following the advice of people that really don't. They have their vision of my life the way they want my life. You know what I mean? I got one guy, he want me to be a hard-working person and doing all this other shit or whatever, and he, you know what I mean? Then I got my mom, who's a hustler, and she ball player, and she like to, she want me to be a ball player. Then you got my grandmother, who's pushing me towards music and things like this, and towards real more artsy type of stuff, towards like looking at paintings and reading and things like this, because she would love to read the newspapers. So I would get her newspapers and read them too. So that was the one really pushing me towards my callings and what I really wanted to do with my life. Where I had other adults in my life who were pushing me towards what they wanted me to do, or criticizing me on different. And as a child, you don't really know how to take criticisms. You know what I mean? Some children take them and they rebel because you criticize them. Some children take those criticisms and they internalize them, and they really, try to live up to whatever criteria someone set for them. But what about the criteria the Creator set for you? What about living in your truth? What about living in your purpose? That's why you got people out here that's damn near crazy or losing their fucking mind, because they never lived in their purpose or in their passion or in their truth. They always lived life for somebody else, or for somebody else. You know what I mean? They became whatever they became in life because somebody else wanted them to become that. And then when they get to a certain point in their life, then they can't do nothing else. Either they're gonna be resentful, or they're gonna have like that midlife crisis where they try to go do this thing, do their calling or whatever it is. And that's what a midlife crisis is. Some people experience these things earlier than others. Some people don't experience a midlife crisis at all because they're already doing what they want to do. And some people experience it by force, by somebody fucking with your life. So now you gotta switch up how you do things in your life. All of us come to our truth differently. All of us come through to our journey differently. Nobody's journey is the same. Nobody's gonna go through things exactly the same. What you see me going through, you may never go through. You know what I mean? I don't hope to have your problems. I don't wish for you to have mine. You know? But yeah, this podcast been running a little long. I'm out. If you want to support, you know where to support. Hit my Cash App, or hit me up personally. Go read a fucking book. Go look at the books. Go listen to a song you like by me. Look at these podcasts a little bit more, because I need an audience. I'm trying to get more brands and sponsors on board, and trying to get monetized and all of that shit. So I need them likes, them shares, and them subscribes if you appreciate what I'm doing. This is Mr. Pagan, over and out. Peace.